It's currently 5 a.m. and I am heading out to show you what Seoul looks like before sunrise. It's 5 a.m. and for once, Seoul is quiet. The city that I'm so used to seeing filled with people, cars, and activities feels completely different at this hour. There are far fewer people outside, the streets are almost empty, and most businesses are still closed. But even though the city looks like it's sleeping, there's still people already awake and on the way to work. You will also see these water trucks driving around the city and spraying down the roads. In Seoul, these trucks are used to clean the streets, and during the summer, water spraying operations can also be used to cool hot road surface and help reduce the effects of the urban heat island. Since it's summer, another thing you will immediately notice when you're outside this early is the sound of cicadas. And because Seoul has so many trees and green spaces, you can hear them all over the city during the summer. You have the sunrise happening like over there. It's currently 5:38 a.m. Depending on the station and line, the subway also starts coming to life around this hour. The first trains begin running shortly after 5 a.m. And by the time you get closer to the morning commute, popular lines like Line 2, the Green Line that circles through some of Seoul's busiest areas, start getting extremely busy. And even at 5 in the morning, you can already find some places that are open. This is Elibak and they operate 24 hours. So it's one of the few restaurants you can find open at this hour. And right next to it is this small shop selling kimbap. They are not open yet, but you can see the workers inside are already preparing everything for the day. Even when most of the city is asleep, there are people behind the scenes already getting everything ready so that by the time everyone wakes up, the city is ready to go. At this time, there are barely any cars on the road, but give it another hour or two and this is gonna look completely different. Seoul's morning rush hour is just the beginning, and thousands of people will soon be making their way into the city for work. I'm now in Yeouido, which is one of Seoul's major business and financial districts. This area is filled with high-rise office building and is one of the city's major business hubs. So during the work week, the atmosphere changes dramatically once office workers start arriving. That's also why you find some coffee shops and restaurants opening incredibly early. A lot of them are serving people who are on their way to work, people grabbing a coffee, breakfast, or something quick before heading into the office. And although I've lived in Korea for years, but somehow I've never really experienced this side of Seoul. The Yoido Hangang Park at this hour is so peaceful. There are barely any people around. This is something I did not know because I usually don't wake up at this hour, but honestly, the sky looks so beautiful at this hour. You'll also find running groups meeting up around the Han River this early in the morning, which makes sense because summer mornings in Seoul can be much more comfortable for exercising before the temperature gets too high. You can hear the birds and you can hear the water, and the whole park just feels completely different from what I usually see during the day. And if you're someone who enjoys having a little peace and quiet, 5 a.m. might actually be one of the best times to experience the city. Market is one of the most famous traditional markets here in Seoul. And even though most of the people probably think of coming here during the day, the market actually starts coming alive much earlier. With more than 10,000 stores, and because it serves both retailers and regular customers, there's activity here at almost every hour of the day. And at this hour, you can actually see vendors and workers preparing their stores and getting everything ready for the day. And that's something you normally don't get to see when you visit a market as a tourist. 안녕하세요. 네. 붕어빵 하나 주세요.
붕어빵 아직 안 되는데.
아, 그래요? 혹시 되는 거 있어요? 되는 거 있어요?
지금
네.
음료 주스, 커피.
주스, 커피. 아, 그래요? 아, 그치, 너무 일러가지고. 네, 알겠습니다. 감사합니다. 네. 네. Very nice man. He was like I should come at 8 a.m. because like nothing is actually prepared right now. He's selling like this fish cake type of thing, and so that's what I wanted to have, but unfortunately like it doesn't have it right now. I'm currently like at Namdaemun Market, and currently there is no store open, which totally makes sense because it's almost 7 a.m. right now. You have people just preparing. It's extremely quiet. There is nothing going on here. Come back here, like 2 hours later, maybe like 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., then it's actually extremely packed, not only with vendors or stores open, but also with tourists as well, because it's like one of the most famous and one of the biggest markets here in Seoul. So I'm just walking around different neighborhoods, and Seoul is actually coming alive right now. You have a lot of workers going to work, and the streets is actually going to be full extremely with cars, and it's like the suburbs are going to be packed because it's going to be rush hour, and so it's almost rush hour actually, or if it hasn't actually even started, Myeongdong is one of the most popular areas in Seoul for tourists, so seeing it this empty feels almost strange. Normally, you see people everywhere, tourists shopping, taking photos, and going into restaurants and walking through the streets. But at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, it's incredibly quiet. Most of the stores are still closed, with only a few restaurants and food shops open for people who are already awake. So I'm currently in Myeongdong, and most of the stores right now are closed. There is literally just only one food stand that is open, which is the toast. You have a lot of travelers that are just here to grab something. But that's the thing about Seoul. Seoul before 9 a.m. most things are closed. I have a lot of my friends always telling me that they can grab coffee or grab any food other than from the convenience store because nothing is open till 9 a.m. And usually the only coffee shop that tend to open pretty early is Starbucks. So Starbucks tend to open at around 7 a.m. into places 6:30 a.m. and so which is actually one of the places you can actually go to earlier to grab maybe a breakfast if you are an early bird. And also most of the popular places in Korea brunch spots or just really good restaurants, they tend to open around 11 a.m. And one of the places you can usually find around Seoul for an early breakfast is Isak Toast. Isak Toast is a very popular Korean toast chain, known for its simple breakfast sandwiches made with things like eggs, ham, cheese, and sweet sauces. They have around 900 locations across Korea, although opening hours may vary store to store, so not every location will open this early. Lately, I've actually fallen in love with drip coffee. So when some of my favorite coffee shops aren't open yet, Starbucks is usually my backup. And since I'm awake this early today, I decided to get some breakfast. I normally don't eat breakfast, but I figured since I'm already awake at 5 in the morning, I might as well. while I was trying to eat, these pigeons absolutely refused to leave me alone. They kept coming closer and closer, trying to get some of my food. I don't know what it is about pigeons in Korea, but some of them can be surprisingly bold. You'll see them walking right up to people, especially when they think you have food. At this point, it's starting to feel like I'm sharing my breakfast with them, whether I like it or not. The city is finally waking up. There are more cars on the road now, and more people are appearing on the streets. The subway is getting packed with workers trying to make their way to work. Just a couple of hours ago, Seoul felt almost completely empty, and now it's back to the Seoul that I know. And I think that's what surprised me the most about being out at 5 a.m. Seoul is known for being one of the busiest cities in the world, but underneath all the noise and crowd, there's another version of the city that most people rarely get to see. A quiet Seoul and a slower Seoul. A Seoul that exists before the rest of the city wakes up. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd love to see more like this in the future, be sure to be subscribed, and I will see you in the next video.